This video will solve all Yu-Gi-Oh cards in Yu-Gi-Oh VRAINS in the Yu-Gi-Oh Legacy of the Duelist Link Evolution video game. Here's World 1. So I was playing poker with my friends, and I was dominating. One of them asked, "How are you good at this?" And another answered, "He got aces up his sleeves. Pat him down," which they did. You wouldn't believe how long it took for them to realize I was wearing a tank top. So there's a traveling salesman who loves to play poker. Every time he visits, he manages to find a game. One night he led to the back of a saloon, and seated among the locals is a German shepherd. The guy is surprised to see a dog at the poker table, but the dog appears to be very well behaved, so the salesman sits down to play. Well, after an hour or so, the salesman and the dog are in a showdown. The salesman raises, the dog raises back. The salesman raises again, and the dog calls. The salesman shows his hand, 3 queens. The dog turns over his hand, a flush. The salesman so impressed he isn't mad that he lost his hand. "You know," he says to one of the locals, "not only can the dog play, but he's really pretty good." "Yeah," says the local. He plays okay, but he usually beat him." "Is that right?" says the salesman. "Yeah," says the local. "Whenever he has a good hand, he wags his tail." Four frogs are playing poker behind a bar in New Orleans. One frog said, "You know, I used to be a pet to a prince that came here one time." Another frog rolled their eyes. "You know what happened next? I was suddenly down the toilet and in the gutter." The frog signaled and played the final bets. Without skipping a beat, the frog says, "I guess you can say it was a royal flush." We can argue all day about what the best card game is, but I think we can all agree Uno is number one. is well too. A newly married doctor got a call inviting him to go and play cards that evening. I have to go out, honey, he said to his wife. Oh no, not again, she said. Is it serious? Oh yes, replied her husband. There are 3 doctors there already. A man hands his girlfriend a small package on Christmas morning, the size of a jewelry box. The woman gets incredibly excited and flips the package open to find a deck of playing cards. What the hell is this? She yells and throws a deck of cards into the man's lap. What? The man responds. It said all you want for Christmas was something with diamonds in it. So, 2 mohels and a pickle are playing a game of cards, and somewhere along the way they got in an argument, as they always did, about who among the 3 should host dinner that night. You see, they are very passionate dinner hosts. One mohel says, you should come to my house. I have the most beautiful house in the village. The other mohel says, no, you should come to my house. I am the best chef in the village. Then the pickle goes, no, you should both come to my house. I have the best wine. The bickering goes on for about 20 minutes until finally, in a heated moment, the peacock yells, very well. We shall decide who the host is, with the cards. So, it simply goes well, says one of the mohels. And so, they all start playing. An intense game, many my tricks, bluffs, everyone plays to the top of the abilities. An hour passes, 2. Then the third hour. The pickle lays down his cards to doomsday, both of the mohels. A royal flush. Both mohels were practically blown away. The perfect hand. Impossible, says one. It goes well, the others works. Then so you shall come to my house, said the pickle. Pleased with his luck, into the pickle went the mohels. A man once ate a whole deck of playing cards. A couple of hours later, he had to drop a deuce. Here's roll 3. I wonder if anyone here can help me. Yesterday, someone stole my friend's favorite playing cards. I think there were about 52 of them. All of them had a picture of someone riding a bicycle on the side of them. But on the other side, they had different things like letters and numbers. Some of them had some pictures of some king and queens and other people. I know there were some red hearts on the leaves, a few of them, and some funny looking little black flowers on some of the others. Anyway, if you see no one heard anything about them, I will be most grateful for assistance in the recovery as my friend is finding it very difficult to deal with without them. I came across a poker table that had playing cards made of cast iron. I asked the person who was handing out the cards to the players if they made the cards themselves, but they kept saying in the most poetic way that it wasn't them, because that would be illegal. I think they're lying. Whoever smelt it dealt it, whoever did the rhyme did the crime, and whoever denied it supplied it. A bee got into our house and my wife freaked out. She yelled, "Get out, but don't harm it." So I got a shot glass and a playing card and carefully trapped and released the guy back. When I returned, my wife said, "Well, what happened?" And I replied, "Don't worry, be happy." It's shitty to be dealt cards when sitting on the toilet. Fortunately, I had a straight flush. He rolled 4. A magician was working on a cruise ship out at sea. The audience would be different each week, so the magician allowed himself to do the same tricks over and over again. There was only one problem. The captain's parents saw the shows each week and began to understand how the magician did every trick. Once he understood, he started shouting out in the middle of the show, "Look, it's not the same hat. Look, he's hiding the flowers under the table. Hey, why are all the cards the ace of spades?" The magician was furious, but couldn't do anything because it was, after all, the captain's parrot. One day the ship had an accident and sank. The magician found himself floating on a piece of wood in the middle of the ocean along with the parrot. They stared at each other with disgust, but did not utter a word. They went on for several days. Finally, after a week, the parrot said, "Okay, I give up. Where's the boat?" A group of friends are playing poker. Now it's Bob's turn to give cards. He got a broken hand in the cast, so he starts to shuffle them clumsily. He gets really pissed at his condition and gets mad. His friend Ben then interrupts him and says, "Look, the problem is not the broken hand, but how you're dealing with it." So I was in my room and I saw a group of 10 ants just running around frantically. I felt badly for them, so I made a small house for them out of a cardboard box. This is technically makes me their landlord and they are my tenants. What do you call a transformer in a cardboard box? Amazon Prime. Here's roll 5. What has 13 hearts but no organs? A deck of cards. Why couldn't the sailor play cards? Because the captain was standing on the deck. Marriage is like a deck of cards. In the beginning, all you need is 2 hearts and a diamond. By the end, you wish you had a club and a spade. Why did the jaguars stop playing poker at the safari? Because all the others were cheaters.